Good evening, everyone. First, let me tell you this: what someone says about you in those moments says far more about them than it ever will about you. When someone humiliates you, they are projecting their own insecurities, their fears, their inadequacies. It's not about who you are, it's about who they are afraid they aren't. When someone humiliates you in front of others, one of the hardest but most effective things you can do is acknowledge the situation without becoming defensive. Humiliation often triggers a natural instinct to protect yourself, whether by arguing, justifying, or retaliating. These defensive responses, however, can unintentionally validate the person's attempt to belittle you or escalate the tension. Instead, calmly acknowledging what has happened or what has been said without letting emotions take over can help you maintain control of the situation and preserve your dignity. Acknowledging the situation doesn't mean agreeing with or accepting the humiliation as justified. It means recognizing the moment for what it is without denying or minimizing it. For instance, if someone makes a cutting remark, you might simply say, "I hear you." Or, "That's an interesting perspective." These types of responses demonstrate that you are present and aware, but they also show that you are not taking the bait to engage in a heated exchange. This approach disarms the person trying to humiliate you, as they often expect defensiveness or anger. By refusing to react defensively, you shift the focus and maintain your composure. Responding without defensiveness starts with managing your emotions. It's natural to feel hurt, angry, or embarrassed when someone attempts to humiliate you, but these feelings don't have to dictate your reaction. Taking a moment to breathe and process what has been said or done can give you the clarity to respond thoughtfully rather than reflexively. A calm acknowledgement of the situation allows you to stay in control, demonstrating emotional resilience even when the other person's actions are meant to provoke you. One of the reasons people often become defensive in the face of humiliation is the fear of being perceived as weak or inadequate. However, defensiveness can sometimes have the opposite effect, making you appear less confident and more affected by the situation. When you respond without defensiveness, you project self-assurance. This shows that you are secure in who you are and do not feel the need to prove yourself to others. Acknowledging the situation calmly and without emotional turmoil sends a clear message: their attempt to humiliate you has not shaken your core sense of self. In some cases, acknowledging the situation without defensiveness can involve humor or lightness. A self-deprecating comment or a smile can signal that you're not taking the situation too seriously, which can diffuse the tension and shift the focus away from the humiliation. For instance, if someone mocks a small mistake you've made, a response like, "Well, at least I'm consistent in my errors," can show that you're confident enough to laugh at yourself. Humor, when used appropriately, can be a powerful tool to maintain control of the narrative and show that you are unaffected by their remarks. Another benefit of acknowledging the situation without defensiveness is that it allows you to maintain the respect of others in the room. When you respond with grace and composure, you demonstrate emotional intelligence and professionalism, especially in a public or workplace setting. People are more likely to admire and respect someone who handles difficult moments with poise rather than with outbursts or excessive defensiveness. Your calm acknowledgement of the situation speaks to your character and leaves a lasting impression on those around you. This approach also helps to redirect the energy of the interaction. When someone tries to humiliate you, their goal is often to create a power imbalance or put you on the defensive. By acknowledging the situation calmly, you level the playing field. You're not ignoring or dismissing what happened, but you're also not giving it more weight than it deserves. This balanced response allows you to shift the focus away from the negativity and potentially steer the conversation in a more productive direction. When faced with humiliation, one of the most effective and disarming tools you can use is humor or wit. Humor has the power to diffuse tension, shift the focus, and showcase your confidence in a way that words alone often cannot. It's a strategy that, when used appropriately, allows you to maintain your dignity while subtly reclaiming control of the situation. Humor not only lightens the atmosphere, but also signals to others and to yourself that you are unfazed by the attempt to undermine you. Using humor in moments of humiliation requires a delicate balance. The goal is not to retaliate or ridicule the other person, as this could escalate the situation, but to redirect the energy of the interaction in a way that neutralizes the sting of the insult. A lighthearted or witty remark can transform an awkward or tense moment into one that reflects your resilience and self-assurance. It shows that you are secure enough in yourself to not only rise above the situation, but also find a way to laugh in the face of adversity. For instance, if someone mocks a minor mistake you've made, you might respond with a self-deprecating joke such as, "Well, at least I'm staying consistent." This type of humor works because it acknowledges the situation without defensiveness while demonstrating that you are comfortable owning your imperfections. By laughing at yourself, you take away the power the other person hoped to wield by pointing out your mistake. It's a way of showing that their attempt to humiliate you doesn't carry the weight they intended. Wit can also be a powerful tool in these moments. A quick, clever comeback delivered with a smile or light tone can subtly shift the balance of power in the interaction. For example, if someone makes a sarcastic comment about your work, you might reply with, "I guess I'll have to put in extra effort to impress my toughest critic." This response acknowledges their remark without hostility, turning the focus back on them in a way that's both respectful and assertive. It also keeps the mood lighter, preventing the interaction from descending into conflict. The key to using humor or wit effectively is timing and tone. A well-timed comment can break the tension and make the entire room feel more at ease, but it's important to ensure that your tone remains playful and good-natured. Humor used in a way that feels sarcastic or cutting can backfire, as it might come across as aggressive or defensive. The intention behind your humor should be to diffuse, not to escalate, and to show that you are in control of your emotions. Another advantage of deflecting with humor is that it allows you to control the narrative. When someone humiliates you, they often hope to draw attention to your perceived flaw or mistake. Humor shifts that narrative by reframing the moment. By turning the situation into something light or amusing, you steer the interaction away from negativity and towards something more positive. This not only takes the wind out of the other person's sails, but also leaves a stronger impression on those witnessing the exchange. Humor also has the added benefit of connecting with others. When you make a joke or witty comment in response to humiliation, you invite those around you to see the situation from a lighter perspective. This can help to shift the room's energy and prevent others from aligning with the person who attempted to belittle you. People are naturally drawn to confidence and positivity, and using humor demonstrates both. It shows that you are unshaken and able to rise above the situation with grace and good humor. When someone tries to humiliate you, they often want a reaction, whether it's anger, frustration, or defensiveness. This reaction validates their behavior and gives them the power to continue their attack. By responding calmly and refusing to engage, you deny them the satisfaction of seeing you affected. This approach denies them the fuel they need to keep the situation going. It is akin to putting out a fire before it can spread any further. The more you resist engaging emotionally, the less power the other person has over you. Resisting the urge to escalate the situation is not about being passive or meek. It is about choosing to respond thoughtfully with a sense of control. Instead of reacting to the humiliation with an emotional outburst, take a breath, pause, and assess the situation. You might be hurt, angry, or confused, but giving yourself space to reflect can help you avoid an impulsive response that could escalate the conflict. When you choose not to feed the fire, you essentially take the higher ground, demonstrating that you are in control of the situation rather than being controlled by it. One of the ways not to feed the fire is by avoiding defensive arguments. If someone humiliates you, they might try to provoke you into defending your actions or character. They might say something designed to undermine you, forcing you to justify yourself. But engaging in such back and forth exchanges often makes you appear vulnerable and draws even more attention to the issue. Instead of offering justifications or explanations, simply acknowledging the situation calmly and moving on without adding more fuel can diffuse the tension. This prevents the conversation from turning into a cycle of blame, counter-arguments, and further humiliation. Another way not to feed the fire is by refusing to retaliate with insults or harsh words. Responding to humiliation with sarcasm or mockery may feel satisfying in the short term, but it often worsens the situation and can lead to further conflict. Retaliation tends to escalate the emotional stakes, turning a one-on-one confrontation into an ongoing battle. Instead, responding with grace, such as calmly walking away, maintaining silence, or simply stating that you'd rather not engage in negativity, shows maturity and emotional strength. This response creates an opportunity to exit the situation with dignity without the need to prove anything through retaliatory actions. Not feeding the fire also means taking responsibility for your emotional state. While someone's words or actions may trigger intense emotions, you have the power to choose how you respond. Choosing to remain calm and not allow your emotions to spiral out of control keeps you grounded. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending nothing bothers you. It means acknowledging your feelings and deciding to handle them in a way that doesn't escalate the situation. Responding with composure allows you to protect your peace and retain the power to shape your own emotional experience. In some cases, feeding the fire can involve trying to explain yourself or seek validation from others. You might feel the need to clarify what happened or seek support from those around you, but doing so in the heat of the moment can drag the issue out longer than necessary. If you feel you must address the situation with others, doing so privately and calmly after the moment has passed is often more effective. It's important to remember that not everyone in the room needs to witness your defense or reaction. The person who attempted to humiliate you might be looking for validation or attention from others, but by not feeding into this behavior, you deny them the opportunity to gather an audience for their actions. When you don't feed the fire, you also avoid making rash decisions that you may later regret. Emotional reactions tend to cloud our judgment, leading to words or actions that don't reflect who we truly are. Reacting in anger or frustration can create lasting consequences, whether it's damaging relationships or losing credibility in the eyes of others. By choosing not to engage in the moment, you give yourself the time and space to think clearly, and when you do respond, it will be from a place of calm and clarity. When someone humiliates you in front of others, it can feel like a personal attack, and it's easy to become consumed by the desire to defend yourself, fix the situation, or react emotionally. However, in those moments, the key to maintaining your dignity and emotional balance is to shift your focus to what truly matters. Rather than allowing the negativity of the situation to take over your thoughts and feelings, redirect your attention toward your values, your long-term goals, and your sense of self-worth. This shift in focus helps you regain control of your emotional state and maintain your integrity, rather than letting someone else's behavior dictate your response. The first step in shifting your focus is recognizing that the humiliation is just a moment, not a reflection of your entire identity. People may say things or behave in ways that are hurtful, but these moments do not define you. When you become overly focused on the humiliation, it can start to feel all-encompassing. It's easy to spiral into self-doubt or to ruminate on what was said or done. But by reminding yourself that this event is temporary and doesn't impact your overall worth, you can detach from the emotional intensity of the moment. Focusing on the bigger picture, such as the relationships, values, and passions that truly define you, can bring clarity and perspective. Another way to shift your focus is by acknowledging the source of the humiliation and understanding that it often says more about the other person than it does about you. Humiliation is often rooted in the insecurities or frustrations of the person trying to put you down. It's a form of control meant to undermine or elevate the person's own sense of power. By recognizing that the person's behavior is a reflection of their internal struggles, you can detach emotionally and stop taking their words personally. This shift in perspective allows you to stop absorbing the negativity and to focus on what you can control your own response. At the core of shifting your focus is choosing to prioritize what aligns with your values and goals, rather than getting bogged down by external negativity. When someone tries to humiliate you, it's easy to get trapped in the moment, allowing it to influence how you feel about yourself and others. But when you can step back and remind yourself of your personal values, whether they're kindness, professionalism, self-respect, or compassion, you can anchor yourself in something that is both stable and empowering. Instead of focusing on the humiliation, you can focus on staying true to who you are, responding in a way that reflects your values, and remembering that how you react is what truly defines you. Shifting your focus also means recognizing the importance of maintaining healthy relationships with people who support and uplift you. While the person who humiliated you may be trying to get a reaction, others in the room may be observing your response. By focusing on maintaining your composure and not reacting to the negativity, you set a positive example for others and preserve the respect of those around you. The people who matter, those who truly care about you, will see your strength and ability to remain calm under pressure. These relationships, built on trust and mutual respect, are what truly matter in the long run. Their support can help you maintain perspective and move past the incident with grace. In moments of humiliation, shifting your focus can also involve redirecting your attention toward your own growth and development. Every challenge you face, no matter how painful, is an opportunity for learning and personal growth. By focusing on how you can learn from the experience, whether it's by strengthening your emotional resilience, practicing patience, or improving your communication skills, you transform the situation into a chance for self-improvement. This shift in focus allows you to view the humiliation not as a setback, but as a stepping stone to becoming a stronger, more self-aware person. When you're humiliated in front of others, it can be a deeply isolating experience. The sting of being put down in public can make you feel vulnerable and alone. In such moments, it's essential to surround yourself with supportive people who can help you process the experience, remind you of your worth, and provide comfort. The people you choose to be around have a profound impact on how you navigate these difficult situations. Having a solid support system can make all the difference in maintaining your sense of dignity and self-confidence, even in the face of public humiliation. Supportive people are those who genuinely care about your well-being and who can offer empathy without judgment. They're the ones who remind you of your strengths when you're feeling low, offering a safe space to express your feelings without fear of criticism. In times of humiliation, these individuals become an emotional anchor, helping you stay grounded. The immediate aftermath of being humiliated can leave you feeling raw and vulnerable. And without support, it can be easy to spiral into negative thinking. But when you have people around you who genuinely care, they help you stay focused on your value, not the hurtful words or actions of others. It's crucial to recognize the importance of quality over quantity in the people you surround yourself with. Not all friends, family, or acquaintances are equipped to support you in a meaningful way during these moments. Some may downplay the situation, tell you to just get over it, or even make light of your feelings. True support comes from people who are sensitive to your emotional needs and who take the time to listen and understand. When you're humiliated, you don't need people who dismiss your experience, but rather those who acknowledge your pain and offer validation. Supportive people offer perspective when you're struggling to see things clearly. Humiliation can cloud your judgment and make you question yourself. In these moments, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing the negative things that were said about you. But the people who know you best, those who have seen you succeed, who have witnessed your character and strengths, can help remind you of the bigger picture. They can offer an objective viewpoint, helping you separate the harsh words or actions of others from your actual worth. When you're surrounded by people who believe in you, it's easier to reject the false narratives that come from moments of humiliation. Supportive people also help you develop resilience. They may share their own experiences with humiliation, rejection, or difficult moments, offering insight into how they coped and grew from the experience. This shared vulnerability fosters a deeper connection and helps you realize that you're not alone. Everyone faces setbacks, and talking with people who have navigated similar challenges can provide a sense of solidarity and encouragement. Resilience is not something we develop in isolation. It's often built through the support and wisdom of those who have walked similar paths. Sometimes the support you need doesn't always come in the form of words. It might come in the form of simply being present with you. There's a powerful comfort in having someone by your side who offers quiet, understanding support. Sometimes just knowing that someone is there for you in silence, offering their presence, is enough to help you regain a sense of inner peace. People who are emotionally available don't just provide solutions, they provide the kind of companionship that helps you feel safe enough to heal. It's also essential to recognize the role of positive reinforcement from your support system. In moments of humiliation, it's easy to lose sight of your worth and start questioning your abilities or your identity. Supportive individuals can offer encouragement and help rebuild your confidence. Whether it's a friend reminding you of your achievements, a mentor highlighting your strengths, or a family member affirming your character, their words help combat the negative self-talk that often accompanies humiliation. By surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, you create a shield against the negativity that tries to seep in. Another benefit of being surrounded by supportive people is that they can help you gain clarity about how to handle the situation. Sometimes humiliation can leave you feeling unsure of how to respond or what steps to take next. The advice and feedback from people who understand your values and priorities can help you navigate the emotional aftermath. They can offer guidance on how to move forward, whether that means addressing the situation directly, letting it go, or learning from the experience. With their support, you're less likely to make impulsive decisions based on hurt or frustration. Supportive people not only help you process the experience, but they also play an important role in helping you rise above it. They can help shift your focus away from the negative interaction and back onto the positive aspects of your life. Whether it's encouraging you to pursue your passions, supporting you in your goals, or simply reminding you of the love and care that surround you, these individuals help you see beyond the humiliation and focus on the things that matter most. In a world where people can sometimes be quick to judge, criticize, or humiliate, the importance of having a strong support system cannot be overstated. The people who stand by your side during tough times help you not only to navigate the hurt, but also to grow from the experience. They remind you of who you are, help you regain your confidence, and offer the emotional tools to deal with the negativity of others. By surrounding yourself with supportive people, you protect yourself from the long-term emotional damage that can come from humiliation and ensure that you stay grounded in your values, your worth, and your path forward. Being humiliated in front of others can feel like a devastating blow to your pride and sense of self-worth, but it also holds the potential to become a powerful lesson in resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to take setbacks and use them as stepping stones for growth. While humiliation can be painful in the moment, it offers a unique opportunity to develop the inner strength required to overcome challenges and emerge stronger than before. The way you choose to respond to humiliation determines whether you allow it to break you or if you use it to build your emotional resilience. At its core, resilience involves learning how to face difficult emotions and experiences without letting them define you. When someone humiliates you, the initial instinct may be to retreat, to wallow in shame, or to react in anger. However, resilience teaches us that we don't have to be governed by our first emotional reactions. Instead of succumbing to the emotional turmoil caused by humiliation, we can pause, reflect, and decide how we want to approach the situation. By choosing to see the experience as a lesson rather than a permanent setback, you can shift your perspective and begin to develop the mental fortitude to handle future challenges with greater ease. One of the key elements of resilience is the ability to reframe difficult situations. Instead of focusing on the humiliation itself, you can ask yourself what you can learn from it. Maybe the situation exposed a vulnerability you weren't aware of, or perhaps it revealed something about the person who humiliated you, whether it's their insecurities, their need for control, or their lack of empathy. By reframing the experience, you begin to see it not as an attack on your character, but as an opportunity for personal growth. This shift in mindset is one of the most powerful tools in building resilience. It allows you to step outside the immediate pain of the moment and focus on how you can use the experience to evolve and become more emotionally robust. Resilience is also about taking responsibility for your own response to adversity. While you can't control the actions or words of others, you have complete control over how you respond. Humiliation may come from external sources, but your emotional reaction to it is within your power. Choosing to respond with grace, dignity, or even humor, instead of reacting defensively or angrily, is a choice that strengthens your resilience. By refusing to let someone else's behavior dictate your emotional state, you take ownership of your own peace and refuse to be controlled by external negativity. In the process of building resilience, it's also important to recognize the power of perspective. Humiliation can feel like the end of the world in the heat of the moment, but when you step back and view the situation from a broader lens, it becomes easier to put things into perspective. In the grand scheme of your life, one humiliating experience may seem insignificant. Resilient individuals are able to zoom out and see how isolated events fit into the bigger picture of their lives. They recognize that this moment of humiliation doesn't define their worth, and it doesn't determine the course of their future. By viewing the situation through a more detached lens, you free yourself from the weight of the moment and allow yourself to move forward with greater strength. Another aspect of resilience is the ability to forgive not just others, but also yourself. Humiliation can be especially difficult when you feel you've been wronged or treated unfairly, but holding on to resentment or anger only hinders your growth. Forgiving those who humiliated you doesn't mean excusing their behavior. Rather, it means freeing yourself from the burden of negative emotions. Forgiveness allows you to release the grip that the experience has on you and enables you to reclaim your peace. At the same time, it's important to forgive yourself for any perceived missteps or vulnerabilities that may have contributed to the situation. Self-forgiveness is an integral part of emotional resilience because it allows you to move forward without carrying the emotional weight of guilt or regret. Resilience is also about embracing vulnerability. When you experience humiliation, it's easy to feel as though you've been exposed or diminished. But resilient individuals understand that vulnerability is not a weakness, it is a strength. Embracing your vulnerability allows you to grow from painful experiences, learn from your mistakes, and become more authentic in your interactions. Instead of shutting down or closing off when you feel humiliated, resilience teaches you to lean into the discomfort and allow it to shape you into a more self-aware and emotionally agile person. The process of building resilience after humiliation also involves setting boundaries and protecting your emotional well-being. As you reflect on the situation, you may recognize areas where you can assert yourself more effectively in the future, whether it's by standing up for yourself, speaking out when necessary, or disengaging from toxic individuals. By learning to set healthy boundaries, you build emotional strength and ensure that you're not subject to the same type of humiliation in the future.